హలో స్టూడెంట్, ఈ వీడియోలో మనం రీసెంట్ గా బడ్జెట్ లో వన్ ఆఫ్ ద ఇంపార్టెంట్ కరెంట్ అఫైర్ జెండర్ బడ్జెటింగ్ గురించి మాట్లాడుకుందాం. ఇండియా అండ్ వరల్డ్ లో ఈ జెండర్ బడ్జెటింగ్ అనే కాన్సెప్ట్ చాలా కంట్రీస్ లో ఇంప్లిమెంట్ చేస్తున్నారు. రీసెంట్ గా 2025-26 బడ్జెట్ లో కూడా ఆర్ ఫినాన్స్ మినిస్టర్ డిస్కస్డ్ అబౌట్ జెండర్ బడ్జెటింగ్. ఏంటి జెండర్ బడ్జెటింగ్? ఇది వినడానికి చాలా బోరింగ్ గా ఉంటుంది, బట్ ఎగ్జామ్ కి మాత్రం చాలా చాలా ఇంపార్టెంట్. లుక్ ఎట్ దిస్ కాన్సెప్ట్. ఇండియాలో ఫస్ట్ టైం మనం 2005 and 2006 ఈ బడ్జెట్ టైంలో we have proposed gender budget concept for the first time. The object of gender budget is like gender promoting gender equality. What do you mean by promoting gender equality? India is a patriarchal society where male is a little dominant. But in opportunities, in equality, in everywhere, we should encourage the women on par with the men. To encourage the women and women empowerment, we have created a concept called gender budgeting in 2005 and 6 budget. From then onwards, it is continuing in every budget for empowering the women in India. But for the first time in the world, Australia is the country which have introduced gender budget concept. Right now, more than 100 countries across the world using the concept called gender budgeting for promoting gender equality by enhancing women empowerment in various sectors. Recently, our Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman ji also announced in 2025 and 26 budget, she announced that we are looking for gender equality by providing various benefits for women empowerment. Women empowerment. Look at the concept here is budget for gender inclusive Visist Bharat. What do you mean by gender inclusive? We need to include all the genders for equal development. It can be male, female, transgender, whomever it is. There should be gender neutrality for the Visist Bharat. What is Visist Bharat? Developed Bharat. If you wanted to see development of the country, we need a participation of all the sectors and all the genders. Especially women participation is very important. That is why the government of India targeting Visist Bharat by making sure of women participation in various sectors like women financial development, increasing labor force and workforce of women in various sector definitely enhances the development of India's growth. Then we called Visist Bharat. Look here, in 2025 and 26 budget, in this budget government committed for inclusive development and balanced growth. What is inclusive development? The development should inclusive of all the sectors and all the genders, including women. And what do you mean by balanced growth? The growth should be balanced. For example, I'll tell you, if there is a development of men literacy rate, we can't say it is a balanced growth. There should be a development of men literacy along with women literacy. Then only we call it as a balanced growth in India. For example, you see, there is a sectors like primary, secondary and tertiary. If all the sectors representing equal growth rate, then only we call it as balanced growth. So balanced growth is a very much important for every country's economic development. We know India is a developing country. When you wanted to see India as a developed country, two things important. One is inclusive development. Next one, balanced growth are the two important key factors for the development of India. Hence we call India is a Visist Bharat. Look here is, in order to achieve inclusive development and balanced growth, there are four key population. There are four key population. One is like adding poor people in development, encouraging youth in development, like including farmers in development and women in development. Hence, we can call it as inclusive development and balanced growth of the nation. When we add all of them as a part of nation growth. Who are the four? The poor, youth, farmers and women. Remember, India is the one largest country in the world which having youth population. India is the one country which is having largest youth population, which we called demographic dividend. With this demographic dividend, if we use properly, we can definitely say India would be a developed country or Visist Bharat. Recently, the finance minister set forth holistic vision for Visist Bharat. What is holistic vision? When you wanted to see India as a developed country, We should target in a holistic manner. Holistic means 360 degree. For example, ensuring zero poverty. Poverty is the biggest problem in India since independence. We should make sure poverty should be zero. In fact, the goal, sustainable developmental goals law, one of the goal is zero poverty. India wanted to achieve zero poverty, zero hunger. Then only we say India is a Visishta Bharat. So zero poverty and universal good quality of school education. There should be a good quality of school education. That is why India launched 2020 National Educational Policy aiming for universal quality education, 100% skilled labor and meaningful employment. See, India, we have youth, but what is the problem? Youth are not having a proper skill. Hence, 100% skilling need to be provided and meaningful employment need to be given. What do you mean by meaningful? I'll tell you, in India, organized, unorganized sectors are there. Formal, informal sector. Formal sector people are having like a meaningful employment kind of jobs. When I say informal, unorganized, they are meaningless. They are doing job, but they don't have any order for doing job. We wanted to provide a proper, meaningful employment with 70% women economic activities. I mean to say, women participation should be increased to 70% in economic activities. I'll tell you, in traditional India, when you see traditional India, woman is a homemaker. When I say traditional India, woman is a homemaker, but she is not actively participating in economic activities. That is why the government decided women need to brought under economic activities. At least 70% of Indian women should be made a part of active economic activities. Hence, we can see women empowerment, inclusive growth, balanced growth. Visishta Bharat target can be easily achieved. That is the reason budget. Finance Minister said 70% women in economic activities need to be ensured. And India is the food basket of the world. Of course, we call India as a food basket of the world because of the diversity that we produce in India. But in the production, women role is very high. It can be a food industry, textile industry, wherever you see, the women role is maximum. You have to enhance women participation in economic activities to achieve desired targets on Visishta Bharat. Look, boys, when I say gender budget allocations, I told this concept began 2005 and 6. In the gender budget, I'll tell you, in the last year budget law, I mean to say 2024 and 2025 budget law, for gender, we have allocated 6.8% of budget for women. But in the current budget, that is 2025 and 26 recent budget law, we have allocated gender budget of 8.8%. And last year it is 6.8. Here it is 8.8. And a 2% budget law, gender budgeting ki manam penchadam jarigindi. And ee budget women development ki ekkuva pradhanyata ivvadam jarigindi. Compared to last year budget, ee year budget lo gender budgeting kinda 8.8% amount would be given to women development. Last year 6.8, now it is 8.8, which makes sure that women introduced budget. Finance Minister, she also ensured the women development equal in every sector. Next, it reflects a strong empowering, ante meaning last year budget lo 6.8 icham, year budget lo 8.8% gender ki or gender budgeting ki ketayincham. అంటే జెండర్ బడ్జెట్ పెరిగింది, దీనివల్ల ఏమవుతుంది, ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ పెరుగుతుంది. ఉమెన్ అండ్ గర్ల్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ వుడ్ బి సీన్ ఇన్ ఇండియా. ఉమెన్ విల్ కమ్ ఫార్వర్డ్ టు మెయింటైన్ their own economic standards and liberty. Further, the strengthening this commitment, 12 additional central ministries. అంటే ఈ ఉమెన్ ఎంపవర్మెంట్ ని స్ట్రెంథనింగ్ చేయడానికి, జెండర్ బడ్జెటింగ్ ని స్ట్రెంథనింగ్ చేయడానికి సెంట్రల్ లో టోటల్ 12 మినిస్ట్రీస్ కూడా వేరియస్ స్టెప్స్ తీసుకోవడం జరిగింది. ఫర్ ఎగ్జాంపుల్ చూస్తే రైల్వేస్ లో ఉమెన్ రోల్ పెంచడం, పోర్ట్ లో ఉమెన్ రోల్ పెంచడం, షిప్పింగ్ అండ్ వాటర్ వేస్, ల్యాండ్ రిసోర్సెస్, ఫార్మస్యూటికల్, ఫుడ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్. ఐ టెల్ యూ, మాక్సిమం ఉమెన్స్ వర్ దేర్ ఇన్ ఫుడ్ ప్రాసెసింగ్ ఇండస్ట్రీస్. అలాగే రైల్వేస్ లో, పోర్ట్స్ లో, షిప్పింగ్, వాటర్ వేస్, ల్యాండ్ రిసోర్స్, ఇలా ప్రతి దాంట్లో కూడా ఉమెన్ రోల్ ఇంక్రీజ్ చేస్తే ఆటోమేటికలీ జెండర్ బ్యాలెన్స్ అనేది అచీవ్ చేయడం జరుగుతూ ఉంది. బికాస్ ఆఫ్ దిస్ హోల్ గవర్నమెంట్ అప్రోచ్ టు జెండర్ మెయిన్ స్ట్రీమింగ్. అంటే వీటన్నిటిని చూసి మనకి ఏమర్థం అవుతుంది అంటే గవర్నమెంట్ ఆఫ్ ఇండియా టార్గెట్ ఈజ్ లైక్ we wanted to enhance the gender equality by bringing women on par with the men in each and every sector. I'll tell you one important aspect now. In India, we have something called periodic labor force survey. You know, in economy, there is a concept called unemployment and employment concept. There is a periodic labor force survey. And India lo ఎంత లేబర్ ఫోర్స్ ఉందో వీళ్ళు మెజర్ చేస్తూ ఉంటారు. బేస్డ్ ఆన్ పీరియాడిక్ లేబర్ ఫోర్స్ సర్వే ఇండియాలో ఉమెన్ పార్టిసిపేషన్ అనేది 42% కి రీచ్ అయింది. మీరు 2021-22లో చూసుకుంటే ఉమెన్ లేబర్ ఫోర్స్ వచ్చేసి ఓన్లీ 33%. అదే మీరు 2023-24కి వచ్చేసరికి బేస్డ్ ఆన్ ద పీరియాడిక్ లేబర్ ఫోర్స్ సర్వే ఉమెన్ పార్టిసిపేషన్ ఇస్ 42%. అండ్ అర్లియర్ only 33% of women was there in labor force. Now it is increased to 42%, which means government has increased gender budgeting, various programs and initiatives for the empowerment of women. This data is very much important for our examinations. Look at the next. In this approach, I can say on an average, international wise meer chuskunte women participation in labor force vachesi 47%. Worldwide average తీసుకుంటే women labor force participation rate is 47%. But India's labor force participation rate with respect to women is 42%. And meaning we are very near to achieve global standards by encouraging women and making them participate in workforce and labor force. Clear, right? Achieving ambition of target that 70% of women participation in economic activities need to be achieved by 2047. Important statement. అంటే by 2047 కల్లా 70% ఉమెన్ అంటే రైట్ నౌ ఎంతమంది ఉమెన్ లేబర్ ఫోర్స్ లో పార్టిసిపేట్ చేస్తున్నారంటే ఓన్లీ 42% మాత్రమే. దానికి ముందు 33% మాత్రమే. దీన్ని 42% అంటే 33ని 42% గా పెంచాం. ఈ 42ని 70% of women should participate in labor force by 2047. That would be the target of government of India. Means government of India is always working for gender equality by empowering women, girl and everyone in this aspect. What are the key initiatives that promoted women development for gender equality and social security? When women is earning, they feel socially secure. When gender is equal, they feel socially secure. Look at this, the programs that are meant for social security and gender equality among the women. First one, Skill India program, promoting the skill among the women, entrepreneurship and skill development programs among the women, national skill training institutes we have established, Deen Dayal Antyodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission. All these are the programs meant for the development of women. Not only that, we have many more programs. MG Narega, Mahatma Gandhi National Rural Employment Guarantee Act, rural areas lo women ki minimum employment guarantee. PM Employment Generation Program, Pradhana Mantri Vishwakarma and Krishnounnati Yojana. Same time, new schemes recently launched by PM, then Dhanya Krishi Yojana and many more, like providing livelihood for urban workers and providing Make in India concepts. All these are the initiatives that are launched by government for women encouragement, because we have to achieve 70% of women participation rate by 2047 is the target. Hence we can achieve Visishta Bharat, gender equality. India would be called as developed nation. But recently one big issue was raised in India, that is called gig workers. Women participation is more even in gig workers. What do you mean by gig workers? It is very much unorganized. Whenever they want, they can join in the work. Whenever they want, they can quit out of the job. For example, Zomato delivery boys, Blinkit and Rapidos, all these apps, you know, the employees, whenever they want, they can log in or they can log out. We call them as gig employees. But government wanted to provide 90% of Indian working women engaged in where? Informal sector. Agriculture is informal. Street vendors is informal. Even gig economy or gig workers is informal. 90% of Indian women is engaged in what? Gig working conditions or informal sector. That is why in the budget government said it wanted to release e-Shram portal. There is something called e-Shram portal. E portal lo prati employee kuda register cheskunte they'll be getting an identity card. They'll be getting an identity card so that they can enjoy the benefits that are given by government of India. Means the government wanted to normalize, regularize the gig workers because the gig workers are highly volatile. They are subjected to economic conditions. They can easily affected by the market forces. That is why government wanted to provide them a proper identity card for their employment if they registered under e-Shram portal that is given by government of India. Because of this, there would be a social security, there would be entitlement, there should be financial inclusion. Like you are getting salaries, how much you are getting, you are eligible for bank loans. Every benefits these gig workers or informal workers gets benefited if they register themselves in e-Shram portal so that they'll get identity card. Because of that, they are getting social security, they are getting financial assistance or financial inclusion. Financial inclusion is good for economic health of a country. Not only that, while the gig economy has offered women financial independence and flexible working arrangements. If woman is doing household work is done, later she can join for any kind of gig economy or gig work like Rapido, Zomato, whatever it is. Whenever they wanted to log out, they can log out and they can get back to home. And the gig economy giving a good possibility for women. But there is no identity and there is no financial inclusion. For that, they have to register in e-Shram portal that definitely gets benefit to the women. Not only this, look, many more advantages of this is like, when I say the women, education sector women role need to be increased, artificial intelligence women role need to be increased, and for economic security women role need to be increased. For every benefit, women should be empowered. That is why there is gender budgeting concept given in the budget of 2025 and 26 with 8.8%. Diversity of economic role. See, women is participating in various sectors. What are the various sectors women is participating? Particularly agriculture, large women is working, entrepreneurship women is working, and employment in maybe organized or unorganized sector women is having such a type of employment, but we should make them as organized. Why all this need to be done? All this need to be done just for the purpose of Visishta Bharat, that is the development of nation. And we need to achieve 70% of women economic activities by 2047. 2047 kala women participation 70% avali. Visishta Bharat jaragali anna women role in economic activities ఖచ్చితంగా పెరగాలి. అవి పెరగడానికి గవర్నమెంట్ ఇన్ని స్కీమ్స్ ని లాంచ్ చేయడం అనేది జరిగింది. ఇస్ క్లియర్ రైట్? దిస్ ఈస్ వాట్ అబౌట్ యువర్ కాన్సెప్ట్ కాల్డ్ ద జెండర్ బడ్జెటింగ్. మేబీ ఇలాంటి వీడియోస్ మీకు వినడానికి టైం కన్స్యూమింగ్ లాగా అనిపిస్తాయి, బట్ మీరు ర్యాంక్ కొట్టాలి అంటే టైం స్పెండ్ చేయాలి. కాన్సెప్ట్ నేర్చుకుంటే కానీ ర్యాంక్ రాదు. 1 minute వీడియోస్, 3 minutes వీడియోస్ వల్ల వినటానికి బాగుంటాయి, బట్ ఎగ్జామ్లు ఎంత వస్తాయి? ప్రిలిమ్సే కాదు, మెయిన్స్ కూడా క్లియర్ అవ్వాలి, అనాలిసిస్ తో పాటు ఇంటర్వ్యూ కూడా క్రాక్ చేయాలి. ఇలాంటివన్నీ మీకు కావాలంటే పేషెన్స్ ఉండాలి. వీడియోస్ మొత్తం చివరి దాకా విని జాగ్రత్తగా నోట్స్ రాసుకోవాలి. ఐ విష్ ఆల్ ద బెస్ట్.